Thank you very much. Thank you, Moonlight. I've been listening your podcast for quite a while. Great to be in this finance live space. Great to have our great investor, Bitcoin OG Dan Domo, to join our space as well. So for everybody who's listening, this is Charlie, co-founder of Bitlayer. Bitlayer has been starting on the journey building Bitcoin L2, working on BVM solutions since the beginning of this year. We have been working with hundreds of Bitcoin DeFi, all kinds of use cases. So far, we just launched our Bitcoin mining gala season 4 together with Binance Wallet. There's a lot of things we would like to share, and based on the ecosystem building journey. I've been in the space since 2015, early involved with Ethereum, Polkadot, and Polygon, and early involved with Ordinals until to last year. Great to have the space today. And thank you very much. Looking forward to chat today.
Thanks. Yeah, I've been in this space for about 12 years now. Last corporate gig, I used to lead marketing at Kraken from 2019 through 2022. And after leaving Kraken, got into the Bitcoin DeFi world. And Asymmetric is the venture firm that I'm a part of, where I'm the GP on the Bitcoin DeFi venture fund, where we've invested in startups like Charlie's Bitlayer. So we invest in Bitcoin DeFi protocols.
Thanks for having me, Moonlight. Great to be here. Hey, I'm Domo, an on-chain analyst and creator of BRC20. Been in the space primarily on the data side for 5 years. I led on-chain data at a big payments company before creating BRC20. And then BRC20, for those who don't know, is a fungible standard on Bitcoin, one of the first using PSPTs and inscriptions, and it's had tremendous success. So thanks again for having me.
Thanks, Moonlight. Hello, everyone. So I'm Candice. Really great to join this show and together with all the OGs and with Moonlight. I've been following Moonlight's live for quite a while. And so I'm Candice, the operation director from Bitlayer, and really excited that we have launched this BTCFi Carnival together with Finance Wallet, and love to have this fun together with all of you. Thank you.
Yeah, so the opportunity for Bitcoin DeFi is the largest opportunity that will ever exist in crypto. And here's why. Bitcoin isn't just bigger than Ethereum and Solana. It's bigger than all of them combined. So if we can unlock DeFi on top of Bitcoin, which we can, this would constitute the largest possible opportunity, the largest TAM, total addressable market, ever in the space. Bitcoin is unanimously seen by all communities as the most pristine piece of collateral, the digital gold, the stable, the foundational money of crypto. And unlocking DeFi on top of that is an incredible opportunity. And that's where at Asymmetric we see, a lot of different ways that this will play out in terms of kind of thematically, like what do these protocols look like? We've got layer 2s like Charlie's Bitlayer. We have meta protocols, similar to like the token standard Domo created. That was based on ordinals, which is ordering theory of Satoshis, which allows us to basically subjectively value what's going on in the Bitcoin blockchain in a different manner than what's actually going on. So meta protocols, Bitcoin L2s, dApps, so different decentralized applications that are being built, like For example, we're investors in Liquidium and Satflow. Liquidium lets you borrow Bitcoin using your ordinal as collateral on the Bitcoin base layer. A lot of people don't think you can do any of these sort of things on Bitcoin's base layer, or that a Bitcoin L2 could do these things, but you can. There's quite a bit of DeFi functionality that Bitcoin can do today, and that is being built out. And then also, I think on the staking side, like Babylon and that whole world, it makes a ton of sense that people would want to use staked Bitcoin as the staked collateral for a proof of stake chain, or to game theoretically incentivize participants for, to enhance your game theory behind a protocol. Bitcoin is the best asset in the space, and there's no doubt that people would want to use that. So yeah, we at Asymmetric called this, when I left Kraken, I wrote a manifesto that TechCrunch wrote up on Bitcoin DeFi. This is in 2022, where I laid out my thesis for the space, which is exactly what I just laid out now. It's amazing to see it come into fruition with good builders, again, like Charlie, Domo, and others here. I'm an investor in this space. I'm not going to take any claim that we are doing the heavy lifting. It's the builders that are doing the hard work here. So we enthusiastically support the founders building in this space, and we are one of the only pure play Bitcoin DeFi venture funds in the category. So yeah, we're here for the builders, and this is going to be an incredible time to build.
Wow, thank you so much, Dan, for letting us know about that. Supporting builders in the BTCFi space, really important. Friends, if you would like to connect with Asymmetric, be sure to give Dan a follow on X, and he has a lot of followers. You must already know him already. Next, we're going to bring the same question to Charlie, our co-founder at Bitlayer. What is the current trend landscape to BTCFi, in your opinion? Thank you.
Thank you for the question. Yeah, very exciting to share some hands-on things. We definitely have been, it's amazing to be on this journey, kind of learning by doing as well. Dan really being one of the biggest OG in the Bitcoin space, give us a very good overview on some of the key players and builders with interesting solutions. Allow me kind of just share the screen, give some the people who are listening and looking at some of the visual guidance. So Bitcoin DeFi or Bitcoin-Fi, it's definitely a keyword. I don't really think many years ago people have been talking about that. Bitcoin has been over 15 years now, has gone through so many things, but there's just tremendous amount of opportunities, tapping into the Bitcoin DeFi. We all know DeFi happened in Ethereum all the way from 2019 with Eastland, Uniswap, a bunch of all these DeFi protocols coming along, very interesting solutions, and we have interesting rally last cycle. But I think we will look at, from our perspective, Bitlayer, we went through the landscape. We look at what's happening in the space. First of all, we have the Bitcoin ETF approved early this year. We are one of the first projects that backed by Franklin Templeton, and are actively talking to many other ETF firms and institutions. The National Reserve, using putting Bitcoin as new assets in National Reserve is very exciting. So on the macro side, it's very interesting to see a tremendous demand, a tremendous potential. And obviously, there's a new Bitcoin holders in the space. Obviously, we have a lot of OGs who are learning Bitcoin in new opportunities, just like what Dan just mentioned from his fund, and a lot of new solutions we're working on. There's a lot of new Bitcoin holders, right, through ETF and through all the other ways. So when they have assets, when assets being appreciated, and people actually don't want to sell, they have demand of earning yield, and obviously they have the need to risk management their assets. So on the infrastructure side, how to enable that, right? On the Bitcoin L1 side, definitely Domo's solution, BRC20 with Ordinals protocol, Runes, and many other kind of new meta protocols, definitely serving interesting features on the Bitcoin layer 1 asset protocol side for asset minting, inscribing, and so on. We on the layer 2 side, we're really trying to provide this trusted programmable environment, right, for all these like smart contract-based DeFi use cases across Bitcoin lending, earning yield, and liquidity side to really make it powerful and make it possible, right? So how we see the Bitcoin DeFi space, how it works. We have the native Bitcoin on layer 1, right? Obviously, has been there for in the last 15 years with all these great multiple round of cycle halvings, and we have all kinds of new solutions, and together with existing bridging, wrapping, mirroring, And of course, we see different trust assumption of solutions now, and especially with the BVM, all the other new solutions, we see a way to lower down the trust assumption from the majority honest signer approach of MPC to more trustless or trust minimized way. For us, the very exciting things to build infrastructures are to build this like programmable environment, right? We see the trustless on chain and trusting off chain. We kind of call this like CDFI approach to see programmable Bitcoin to be used for all kinds of applications. Obviously, some of the clear low-hanging fruit and the ones that actually already have some kind of product market fit is Bitcoin staking, Bitcoin lending, and a few other kind of on-chain trading protocol across decentralized trading, option protocols, derivative. So Bitlayer right now, we have quite a lot of interesting protocols kind of focusing on these kind of use cases around Bitcoin DeFi. So this is a chart in a landscape kind of overview, give very clear overview. On the infrastructure layer, we have a BVM bridge, ROA equivalent kind of a layer 2, and new type of smart contract environment, right, to make it higher scalable and faster ways to achieve the finality. And we have all kinds of Bitcoin multi-chain yield protocols and tapping into different type of yield, no matter it's on-chain active yield or other layer real-world assets yield. And we see a lot of new type of Bitcoin programmable assets coming along. I think so far we see over 20 different type of new X, meaning like X type of programmable Bitcoin, and tap into all kinds of EVM environment, and of course all kinds of new yield-bearing stablecoins, and Bitcoin CDP type of stablecoins having interesting potentials in the space. And our application layer, I just mentioned the whole entire DeFi suite, right? Options, perp DEX, insurance, on-chain trading protocols, and liquid staking, LIST, LRT, have all kinds of interesting things to tap into the user base for all kinds of demand. So in a nutshell, there's a lot of things we can explore. A lot of institutions, a lot of new type of DeFi builders are kind of gradually getting involved with all the whole DeFi and Bitcoin DeFi space, with ETF alignment, with other kind of approach. What we see moving forward in 2025 could be very interesting, exciting. Infrastructure project like us, Bitlayer, and a few other players are going to launching our V2 or their V1 mainnet, BVM, and many other kind of key solutions going to deliver and actually getting portfolio test out. We're going to see a lot of transactions on chain going to happen more and more in the Bitcoin DeFi space across layer 2s and meta protocols. And I think in addition, we're going to see some very exciting, over 10 billion market cap type of Bitcoin DeFi projects could potentially be built and be properly used in the market in like Q2, Q3 next year. And we're going to see some interesting Bitcoin layer 1 potential upgradation, right? We're going to see people are talking about Opcat, people are talking about CTL, and a few other kind of approaches. Very exciting to see how this can evolve. Bitlayer is definitely busy working on that. We're kind of getting towards launching the V2 mainnet. It's pretty much on time, on our schedule. Very exciting to see how this can evolve with our Bitcoin DeFi ecosystem. Yeah, currently we have around 250,000 transactions per day with 20 million transactions altogether already. Yeah, very exciting to share this. Thank you very much. I'm going to give the microphone to Domo.
Wow, thank you so much, Charlie. Well prepared. You have a slide and showcasing us to share a comprehensive breakdown on BTCFi, and it's so fascinating to see how BTC has evolved into robust ecosystem with Bitcoin at its core. And I must add a personal touch over here. I myself actually started to learn about BTCFi through Bitlayer. Previously, we already collaborated several AMA sessions on X Spaces, right? So I study and I also am Bitlayer helmet entity holder as well. Thank you for sharing that. And next, we are going to invite Domo to share your view. What do you think is the current market landscape for BTCFi? Thank you.
Yeah, hard to top both the thesis and the deck, but I'll share my views. It's been incredibly exciting the last year and a half. 2 years ago, we didn't even have NFTs. So we started with NFTs, then we went to fungibles, then we moved into things like staking with Babylon, L2s, et cetera, et cetera. So it's incredibly exciting time to be in the space. I think what interests me at the moment is how do we kind of combine these all together? Like, unlike systems like Ethereum, where interoperability and composability is baked into the protocol itself, it's a challenge with Bitcoin. These systems don't necessarily speak to each other particularly well. That's where things like BitVM come in. That's where things like Opcat come in, where you can have this programmable connectivity between the systems. And it's something that we're thinking with BRC20 as well. We want BRC20 to be linked into all these different systems, to be in every venue, to be not only on L1, but as more L2s and trustless bridges pop up, participate in those ecosystems. So that's the way we're seeing it at the moment. And it's the biggest problem I've identified in the space, is this interoperability. And like another problem that it necessarily leads to is the lack of liquidity in the space. I think a lot of people are facing liquidity issues, and I think it is because of how segmented and siloed the system is currently. So that's my like perception on the ecosystem right now. Like, it's incredibly exciting, all these different verticals. But if we can solve that interoperability and composability issue, I think that like Dan's market caps and targets are well within reach.
Thank you, Domo, for pointing out several issues that we need to target at and solve. And I would like to share my screen as well, because everyone, we are featuring on the front. Oh, I would like to share my screen as well, because everyone, we are featuring on the front page of Binance Live, which means if our audience come to Binance.com or using their Binance app, and they can easily spot us. No wonder right now we already have over 10,000 like views on Binance Live. Super exciting. I see a lot of people typing BTCFi in the comments. And friends, you are in here for a treat, because we are learning from all of the BTC OGs in the space. Once again, thank you so much to Charlie, Dan, and Domo for sharing your views on the landscape of BTCFi. Next, we are going to go to our second discussion topic. We would like to invite our guest speaker to talk about BTCFi as a comprehensive financial ecosystem around Bitcoin. Not only includes DeFi applications, but also other Bitcoin-related financial activities. In your opinion, which application or sector do you think is currently the most representative? Would like to bring this question first to Dan. Thank you.
Sorry, that was most representative of what?
Which application or which sector, which track do you think is the most representative of BTCFi? Thank you.
Well, at Asymmetric, we love all of our children equally, all of our investments. So, we think there's a lot of different ways to build a dApp in the ecosystem, including, you can build on a Bitcoin base layer, which would be like Liquidium, for example. You can build on an L2, or you can build on a meta protocol. For example, we're investors in like Arch, and there are, Saturn's being built on Arch. That's a good example of a dApp there. So I don't think there's any like proper way to do it, just because it's like, well, what's the proper way to build any company? Well, there's some foundational elements of having a good team. You've got enough money to go build the product. You do good marketing. You build a product that people love. You build a protocol that's going to last and be resilient. And you build ultimately the number one thing that is necessary for a dApp or a centralized company to succeed, is that you solve a problem for your customer. That's the ultimate thing here. What problem are we solving? So, builders in this space need to be very empathetic with that mindset. It sounds really simple, but I spent 10 years in Silicon Valley and I've been in crypto 12. Like, there are so many dApps and so many companies in the space that clearly are building what the founders think the market wants, despite all information showing the opposite. And you might say, like, that sounds ridiculous, Dan. Who would be stupid enough to do that? Well, I'll give you an entire category that I believe is asinine, which is the payments, the payment side. So despite almost every single crypto payments company failing in the 2013 to 2017 cycle, despite Bcash failing, despite all of that, despite no one using crypto for payments, despite very few people using Bitcoin Lightning for payments, and the reason why is because Bitcoin has three value props. As a monetary policy, as the most credible monetary policy on the planet, it's hard to seize and it can't be censored. So the payment makes sense if it's a payment that could be censored, but like Bitcoin replacing Visa or MasterCard, no one wants to use Bitcoin for that. And so it's absolutely insane to see the tens of billions of dollars negligently deployed by venture capital firms into this category. It's incredible to see builders ignore what the market is telling them. And so that would be a prime example of what not to build in crypto as a payments related startup. And look, this isn't about being right or wrong. I'm not like, oh, I don't think that should be built or not. All that matters is what the market wants. Does the market want that? And the market has said resoundingly no. So going back to Bitcoin DeFi, I think my number one advice for founders is build something the market wants. And then when we look at what the market wants across crypto as a whole and within Bitcoin DeFi, it's usually things that are, in regards to speculation. Now, speculation isn't a dirty word. Bitcoin exists today because people speculated on it. And if you look at the history of financial markets, both equities and options were perceived as kind of very dangerous new financial instruments. Equities were actually banned in the UK in terms of there's no new charter issued for a publicly traded company for 100 years after the East Indies company blew up. So, I think crypto, of course, is volatile and a little bit crazy, and there's a lot of scams and whatnot. But this new asset class, there's so many different opportunities here, and I think, especially within the Bitcoin DeFi world, you have so many cool things that these protocols are building, and usually that value is captured by a governance token or the L2 as a native token. So yeah, long story short, lots of ways to build a dApp. Usually they're around speculation. Speculation isn't a dirty word. And, we're excited to support these folks.
Wow, got it. Lessons learned. Thank you so much, Dan, for sharing the perspective with us. And we would like to invite Charlie to also share your views in terms of which application or which sector do you think is currently the most representative in the BTCFi ecosystem? Thank you.
Yeah, it's a great question. Dan definitely shared some very interesting insights from the investor perspective. We're building an ecosystem, so we actually interface and trying to onboard a lot of application builders, kind of sitting the same perspective, right? We need to see what are the ones actually make sense, what are the application potentially could have product market fit, and it's a pretty challenging thing, right? A lot of the builders are technical, they look at things from their own perspective, but normally the market actually is always right. You need to actually understand what the market needs, and sometimes the market is not ready for certain things until such an interesting solution kind of move the needle. So from last year, I would say definitely along with building our ecosystem, we see a lot of interesting applications coming along the ways. And we had some consolidation as well during this summer, for example, when the Bitcoin on-chain activities, the Bitcoin price went sideways. A lot of things people were pretty hyped, didn't really work that out. And something actually gradually, or kind of, I would say, and I wouldn't say secretly, but gradually actually evolved pretty well. One thing I would definitely say is Bitcoin lending. There's a lot of people kind of, surprisingly, during the market getting better and better, don't want to sell their Bitcoin, actually wants to, and basically with increasing amount of the funding rate, right? They need to borrow against the Bitcoin assets for more stable coins and to getting more leverage to trade other things. So we see interesting protocol like Avalon Finance and having tremendous amount of TVL growth and the demand on the borrower and the lenders. Stablecoin protocol is definitely a very, very important building blocks in DeFi space, right? And for people who actually understand DeFi, right, like stablecoins is very important, key building blocks. And we have all these like fiat-backed stablecoins, and obviously we have all these decentralized new stablecoin protocols have very interesting potential. We have a few of them already deeply working with Bitlayer. We have Bima, BitSmiley, Yala, and some others come from the Ethereum world as well. But now trying to tap into the Bitcoin assets with the stablecoin approach. So these are the two very important ones that actually represent Bitcoin DeFi. Dan mentioned a very interesting word called speculation, right? Speculation meaning like there's price volatility. That's kind of the nature of the crypto. It's not necessarily actually bad term, It's just kind of where we are in the financial world, especially in the early stage. But it's very important. When there's volatility, right? There's trading, and on-chain trading is the most important thing. When we talk about Bitcoin DeFi on yield, the organic sustainable yield source come from the trading side, right? Come from the trading fees and the gas fees. Bitlayer, we're making pretty significant amount of gas fee revenue every day now due to all the tradings and all that. So I think one of the very exciting high potential use cases we are seeing, still very early stage, but very exciting, is Bitcoin derivative. We're talking about all the option protocols on chain, like with some of the protocols like Jasper Vault and the Rodex are very actively growing our ecosystem. They can potentially be this kind of on-chain version of Derbit, on-chain version of even MicroStrategy, tapping into the option protocols and on-chain yield side. Yeah, those are actually very exciting stuff. I would say still in the early exploratory stage, and they haven't really achieved massive product market fit yet, but I think we'll have a very interesting potential. Yeah, so there's a lot of things we are kind of learning by actually supporting those builders on the application layer to work with us. We support them with liquidity, with go-to-market strategy, get onboarding users, right? What we are doing right now with Binance Wallet exactly is the things we try to educate, provide this campaign as a catalyst, right, for users to understand what kind of use cases on the Bitcoin DeFi space. Yeah, so we'll see how to help them along with getting more and more market adoption.
Wow, thank you so much, Charlie, for sharing your perspective with us. Learning by doing. This is a way at Bitcoin, and Charlie is the co-founder at Bitlayer. And everyone, be sure to give them a follow. Next, we are going to bring the same question to Domo, lead creator at BRC20. What do you think, if there are any representative application or sector in the BTCFi ecosystem? Thank you.
Yeah, so I think I'm going to say a similar answer to Dan and Charlie in the sense that I don't think representation is necessarily sector specific. One observation I have made, though, is that when you're designing a protocol, meta protocol, project, app, chain, whatever, you have a series of design choices to make. And you can think of them as a continuous spectrum between Bitcoin aligned and Bitcoin non-aligned or misaligned. I think the projects that have done the best in the space so far are those that have pushed the slider as far as possible to the Bitcoin aligned side. So, for instance, I think a lot of BRC20's initial success was due to the open, fair, and free principles that were in the protocol itself. Anyone could use it. It didn't cost anything beyond Bitcoin transaction fees, and the community could get it. So it mirrored some similarities to Bitcoin in that sense. And I'll give you another example. I think Babylon has had tremendous success with their staking. And I think a lot of that is because they're one of the first to prove acceptable trade-offs for large Bitcoin whales and institutions. Again, sliding that slider all the way to the Bitcoin side. So I think if I was a project at the moment looking to come into the space, when I'm making those design decisions, irrespective of the space, that would be something forefront in my mind. Is how can I be as Bitcoin aligned as possible while offering similar experience to those that people are used to in other ecosystems such as Ethereum and Solana.
Nice. Thank you so much, everyone, for sharing your views. And we see that BTCFi actually extends across different sectors, right? For our audience over here right now, we got close to 14,000 live views. That's a lot. And if you are new to the BTCFi sector, feel free to follow our speakers. And well, actually, BTCFi include Bitcoin lending, payment systems, as well as just like Domo mentioned, right? Staking. They're very exciting. Also, yeah, we are going to talk about Bitlayer recently announced a 6-week BTCFi Carnival with Binance Wallet. This is on our banner, right? We are separating BTCFi with Bitlayer's BTCFi Carnival. So we wanted to ask Charlie, could you share more details about this event with us? Thank you.
Absolutely, yeah. First of all, super exciting to work with Binance Wallet. Great to work with this very hardworking team. Yeah, so Bitlayer, we're being very effectively growing our community and ecosystem, and supporting our application projects. This is our season 2. We call this mining gala. It's basically we aggregate and promote a few of the key new use cases that have been deployed on Bitlayer network, and that kind of going through the whole user acquisition journey. This Carnival is our season 4. We are very excited to feature actually 11 very interesting new use cases around Bitcoin DeFi across lending, restaking protocol, PerpDex, AI, and agent solutions, and quite a lot of other interesting things. And every week we have 1 or 2 projects. They're gonna have some on-chain and off-chain tasks for users from the Binance Wallet. This is a great opportunity to learn, and to actually not just learn by listening, by actually using a wallet, bridging over to Bitlayer, and getting some gas fees, and actually tapping those use cases. By doing that, you actually can get all kinds of rewards. Sometimes I, been building ecosystem across almost 8 years now, across different ecosystem. Sometimes I make this kind of analog to my friends, right? To my investor friends, and also the builders as well. We're actually, in the macro level, we're building like a shopping mall, right? Like we need to invent all kinds of the SMEs, vendors, to let them offer all their services and products in the shopping mall. And eventually we need to have this like promotion campaigns, right? For all these customers to come over. And some of them will come, be attracted by all kinds of things. They actually don't know what we have to offer. So those are the campaigns that actually are very good catalyst for them to understand what's going on. And some of them may like certain things, some of them may not, but this is a good for them to have a taste, and hopefully have interesting amount of users can stick around and have a retention. And of course, in the macro level, we kind of just building ecosystems is almost like building a country, right? We have our own token as like kind of like a currency. All these new businesses we're attracting, we need to make them successful, right? So that we can have a very sustainable, healthy GDP. GDP eventually comes down to the gas fee revenue, all kinds of increase of the value of the market cap of the use cases. So yes, this is very exciting period. While Bitcoin just hit all-time high 100K, there's interesting macro policies coming along in 2025. We kick off this campaign during this Christmas season, right? For people who wants to learn what exactly going on in the Bitcoin DeFi space on Bitlayer, this is a good campaign for us to get interesting learning and also getting rewards. So exciting to have all the people who wants to have a taste, understand what's going on, to join this campaign.
Wow, nice. Thank you so much, Charlie, for the introduction about the BTCFi Carnival that's organized by Bitlayer with Binance Wallet. And everyone, if you haven't set up your Binance Wallet yet, later we are going to share some instructions after this AMA session, so you know where to find it. It's actually very easy in one SIM app on our Binance app. And we'll also like to go over to Candice, our operation director at Bitlayer, to see if you would like to share any additional information regarding this Bitlayer BTCFi Carnival. Thank you.
Thanks, Moonlight. So I believe Charlie has already introduced a lot about our exciting BTCFi Carnival. So I will just add a little bit. So really excited about this event together with the Binance Wallet. I want to say that so the campaign is expected to run for 6 weeks, and we have designed this unique campaign way together with Binance Wallet together. And according to my knowledge, I think it is the first time that Binance Wallet launched this campaign in this way. So here's how the game goes: that each week, as Charlie just mentioned, that we will introduce 2 or 3 BTCFi related those top projects to Binance Wallet, and to let users to experience enhanced BTCFi yield strategies, but more important, with juicy token rewards, both from the layer and also from our ecosystem projects such as Solve, Lorenzo, Bedrock, Pale, Design, all of these wonderful projects to work together. So today, we just launched our campaign, this Carnival, since yesterday. So today is still our first week. So the first week starts with Bitlayer's own tasks. quite simple tasks, but the rewards are actually quite awesome. We offer $600,000 equivalent BTR tokens. So just use some simple social tasks and mint SBT, free mint actually, free mint SBT, and also some daily check-in tasks, and you can share this $600,000 BTR tokens with Binance Wallet. Actually, the results are not bad. We just launched the campaign yesterday, and until now, I think it's more about 24 hours since we launched, and already over 80,000 Binance Wallet users opt in. So we are really quite looking forward to have this fun with all of you. Thank you.
Wow, thank you so much, Candice, for sharing the data with us. Within 24 hours, already a lot of users participate in this Bitlayer BTCFi Carnival, collaborating with Binance Wallet. So friends, don't miss it. And I also show the pinned tweet that I saw on Bitlayer's official X handle over here. Friends, if you need more instructions, go there, find Bitlayer Labs official handle, and then see the pink tweet. You have everything that you need to know to share 1.2 million in BTR rewards. That is a lot. Don't miss it, everyone. 6 weeks. We still have plenty of time to do it. Next, we are going to go to our discussion topic number 3. We will actually, we would like to continue to ask Candice, our operation director at Bitlayer, can you compare to the previous Bitlayer events and what are the key innovations of the Bitlayer BTCFi Carnival? Thank you.
Oh, thanks, Moonlight. I think that following what Charlie and all of our OGs have said, that we are trying to make this carnival as I should say as diversified as possible. I mean that users got the chance to experience different kinds of BTCFi enhancement strategies. So not just include like the strategies such as staking, restaking, lending and borrowing, which we have seen in the past previous cases, but also things like liquidity trading options. So which means that when users join Bitlayer BTCFi Carnival, actually they could have many different kinds of strategies and to take the best advantage of BTCFi yields in this carnival. And also in this time, we're trying our best to lower the barrier of entering the campaign. So which means that, as you can see in our first week, the tasks are quite simple. So no need of difficult transactions, check-ins, free mint of SBTs, tasks like this. Actually, you only need to have almost $3 in your Binance wallet, and that could cover almost all your expenses in our week one interactions. But actually, we are trying to add something more to this carnival since Christmas is coming. So apart from 120 million in US dollars in BTC tokens, and we are actually adding more to this carnival, which means that user check-in, they could get BTR tokens, and there's also daily lucky draws. So quite a lot of fun to enjoy this carnival. And last but not least, for our interactions in the next 5 weeks, we are also trying our best to maintain these criteria, to make it as diversified as possible, and to make it as simple as possible, and to get involved as many people as possible. So really hope to have more people, more friends to join us. Thank you.
Nice. Thank you so much, Candice. This holiday season with Bitlayer's BTCFi Carnival, we are going to get a lot more rewards and friends. Once again, it's really easy to find it. You just need to stay on the same app over here, the Binance app, and then find Binance Wallet, discover airdrop Bitlayer. You are going to see it. If you didn't see it, please update your Binance app to the latest version. And well, Candice already shared a lot of exciting updates for Lee's BTC Carnival, right? BTCFi Carnival. Thank you so much, Bitlayer team, for organizing this event. That's just awesome. Now we are going to learn more insights from our BTC Bitcoin ecosystem OGs over here. We have Dan, Charlie, Domo, and Candice. We would like to hear about the lessons that you have learned from your experience and your vision for the future in the BTCFi ecosystem. First, we would like to bring this question to Dan, the GP from Asymmetry. Thank you.
Yeah, back to my original point, good builders are ones that will identify a problem in the market and build for that versus building for like their hobby or what they think the market wants. So as part of that, there's a lean development framework for you have to go build a minimum viable product for them to go sense what the market wants. So whatever method you can to get a signal from the market that they truly will use this thing, that's what you want to do. That's how you minimize the amount of time that you spend going to go build something. Then there's also tenacity. There's the ability to go break down brick walls. This is the terminology like we'd use in Silicon Valley of like the grit. Will a founder go, burn against the dying of the light, really push and get something done? And I think Charlie represents that really well. Like Charlie has a very tenacious attitude towards getting stuff done, to building out Bitlayer. And so we look for founders that are going to have that grit. And so I think when you look at, building in the ecosystem, like the founders that survive are the ones that have the most grit. Even if you build what the market wants and you have grit, though, there's still a lot of luck involved here. I think, when it comes down to, how builders, lessons I would also impart upon builders. One would be you need to plan for a bull and bear market, right? Like in a bull run, there's a lot of opportunity to be captured, and you should be deploying capital more aggressively and being super aggressive. When you start to sense that the bear market's kicking in, which by the way, if we follow the typical 4-year cycle, bear market will probably kick in later next year. You have to cut aggressively, which is like laying off 50 to 80% of your staff. You have to survive till the next bull run. I've had 2 startups in this space that I co-founded, so it's been an interesting experience. The cyclicality of crypto is incredibly tough to build a business in. This isn't like Uber, right? Where like Uber's growth was sort of this constant growth month over month in different regions of more and more people discovering Uber. The growth in crypto is like it's feast or famine, right? So that you have to plan your business around that cycle. And I think a lot of founders don't scale up fast enough. They don't scale down fast enough. And that's why a lot of them go under. And then finally, I think too, just having a basic framework for excellence, right? Like hire people that are A+ players. I think there's a lot of C and D players in this category because there's a lot of fast money. So at Asymmetric, these are qualities that we look for in founders. We look for A+ players. We look for players that have tenacity. We look for people who are understanding the problem that they're solving in the market. And that they're going to pound their head against a brick wall to go make that happen until the brick wall collapses. That's what we look for from founders that will smartly time these cycles to where they'll survive to the next one. We don't invest for, there's a lot of funds in the space that invest for kind of quick token exits where there's a token that's generated within a month. We're a classic VC firm. We bet on our founders for 5 to 10 years. So, that's what I would give as advice for founders in the space.
Wow, definitely world-class VC firm, right? Thank you so much, Dan, for sharing your experience with us. And next, we are going to bring the question to Charlie, our co-founder at Bitlayer. Can you share some lessons that you have learned from your experience and your vision for the future of BTCFi? Thank you.
Yeah, as I mentioned, it's been a great, amazing journey. And building ecosystem is something I've been working on for pretty much my entire crypto career. This is not my first ecosystem I'm working on. Obviously, the first ecosystem I'm working on as a founder. It's actually quite a unique journey. Especially talking to a lot of the new people, the people who actually just kind of new in the space. I'm referring to a lot of the institutions who kind of just joined Web3 space by investing, by actually seriously looking at what's the use cases, what are the technology we're working on post ETF approval, right? We're backed by Franklin Templeton, and we're talking to a lot of other institutions. At this moment right now, I'm just in the financial week of Abu Dhabi. We met a lot of interesting TradFi institutions who already have some exposure from their Bitcoin ETF, ETP products. They are looking at all kinds of new yield opportunities, liquidity provision, collaboration, potentially with us as well. Yeah, they have very different backgrounds. It's very, very, very new, very, very interesting, sometimes also refreshing as well. My previous journey was mostly working with all the Bitcoin, all the DeFi builders or Web3 builders, right? Some of them came from interesting software engineering background. Some of them are very good product designer. A lot of them don't necessarily have very sophisticated TradFi backgrounds, but more and more people, new builders we've been seeing potentially supporting actually have very significant TradFi background with very good understanding about risk management, financial modeling, and also economics. They are fairly new to the game, but are very good at understanding the finance basics and the fundamentals. So pretty exciting to see more and more of those new, I would say, senior and career background kind of builders entering the whole Bitcoin ecosystem. And those are the people I would say represent higher education background, higher business background people who are not just nerds who can code some software, who actually can build real business, right? So those are the people who are interacting and hopefully want to support them to make them successful in our ecosystem. So this is our mission to make more, Bitcoin DeFi or all the other application founders successful. Their success is our success. If we as an ecosystem, as infrastructure, doesn't really have all these really successful use cases, then we're just a ghost chain with just infrastructure. That's not necessarily what we want. We want a very successful use cases with true product market fit. That's kind of the reason why we're doing this Bitcoin DeFi Carnival, bringing users to the important builders, and we're going to see hopefully new builders along the journey. So moving forward, 2025, we are very excited, looking forward to entering the new market, including Middle East. We are definitely expanding to this great, amazing, high potential region. We want to go to Latin America, even Africa, Turkey, some interesting place which they have hyperinflation. They understand Bitcoin. They are pretty Web3 savvy, digital savvy. Some of them have very interesting, talented founders, have interesting communities. They just need to learn more about what's possible. I think that's very interesting potential. We definitely want to improve our way how to help our users to have our ecosystem, what's going on there, and hopefully we're gonna have a better UX, the trustless, bridging we're working on the whole Bitcoin finality layer 2. We are launching very soon to achieve the whole next chapter of Bitcoin DeFi ecosystem.
Nice, Charlie. And you are in the right place because at our Binance Live, we have a lot of audience from the Middle East, Africa, Turkey, and South America. So I remember a while ago when we were watching football together, right? And people were supporting their own countries. It was amazing to see a lot of audience from over 60 different countries in one AMA session. Everyone, be sure to join Bitlayer's BTCFi Carnival. Don't miss the event. It's right on our Binance app. Very convenient with lots and lots of rewards. Once again, thanks to Charlie for sharing your vision for the BTCFi ecosystem. Next, we would like to hear from Domo, the BRC20 creator. What do you perceive the next, or any you wanted to share your experience or vision for the future of BTCFi? Thank you.
Sure. Yeah, maybe I can talk about some learnings I had with BRC20. They kind of contrast each other, but hopefully I can pull them together. When I created BRC20, I tried to keep it as simple as possible. It was initially only meant to be a proof of concept, how you could emulate fungible tokens on Bitcoin. And in doing so, it made it extremely easy to understand, use, et cetera, and also because of all the Ordinals infrastructure at the time, you didn't need a new wallet. You didn't even need an indexer. You could just use the existing infrastructure wallets, and then once the indexers came, use everything. So I think the learning there I had was, if you have an idea, keep it as simple as possible to initially release it. Contrastingly, like, I think there's a couple of ideas that we've had over the past 2 years for BRC20 that if we'd rushed to implement more on the complexity side, I think we would have made a mistake here or there. So I think by waiting, we've managed to refine them, and hopefully in the new year we can release them in a smart, intelligent way and connect with the rest of the ecosystem. I think the advice I would give is don't do what everyone else is doing at any given point in time. Try and think where the space is going, think where the problems your ecosystem is facing, and try and solve those ahead of time instead of rushing to just do what everyone else is doing. And that's what the approach we're hopefully taking. So as you can see, it's a bit of a contrasting advice, which is release fast and simple, but iterate slowly and smartly is kind of the advice I would give.
Nice. Thank you so much, Domo, for sharing your experience with us. And everyone, once again, be sure to give all of our OGs in the Bitcoin ecosystem a follow. Then Charlie, Domo, and Candace over here. Wow, the time really fly by pretty fast. We are close to an hour of our AMA discussion over here. Before we wrap up our session, I would like to double check with all of our speakers. Do you have anything that you would like to mention to our audience right now? We have over 1,800 live views on Binance Live. And if you wanted to share additional information that we haven't covered yet, feel free to open your mic. Thank you.
Yeah, from my side, yeah, truly appreciate Domo and Dan to also support our Bitlayer journey and to be on the space. For the people who are listening in the audience, if you have interesting ideas, you have to see how we can work with each other. Feel free to reach out to us on Bitlayer Labs on Twitter. For the people who have the Binance Wallet, this is a very interesting campaign. Binance Wallet is the V2 version, right? Great to work with this amazing team. A big fan of the user of Binance. I will say, hopefully, this can be a very important pivotal campaign. We can tap into new user base, welcoming the new friends to join our ecosystem. And I seriously recommend people to check all the interesting, amazing applications that we are proposing in this campaign. A lot of them are very interesting founders. They have real interesting product. Some of them are still improving their product. So if you have a good feedback, please share with us. I think this is very important for the entire space to improve altogether. And your feedback, your user experiences, and comments are very important for us to improve. This is as I said, this is learning by doing, but I think we are iteratively improving us a lot while we're doing that. So yeah, I really appreciate everybody to have an interesting journey in this Carnival. And we hope to see a very successful Bitcoin ecosystem in 2025.
Thank you so much, Charlie. Well, I can't wait to try it right after this AMA session. And once again, friends, go to Bitlayer or Bitlayer Labs official handle on X and check out the pink tweet. Get ready for a 6-week non-stop BDR giveaway worth 1.2 million in rewards. And Bitlayer is partnering with 11 top-tier ecosystem BTCFi projects. So you definitely don't want to miss it because I am going to do it right now. Once again, shout out to all of our speakers today. Thank you, Dan, Charlie, Domo, and Candice for joining us. And thank you to all of our audience close to, well, actually already surpassed 1,800 live views. Thank you all for being here. This might be your very first time to give it a try at the BTCFi ecosystem, right? Don't miss a BTCFi Carnival with Binance Wallet and Bitlayer. It's an event that you don't want to miss. Have a great rest of the day, everyone. I'm Moonlight. I'm done speaking. Looking forward to seeing you later at our Bitlayer BTCFi Carnival. Thank you. Alliant, we are going to listen to some upbeat music. And friends, I already shared the pinned tweet of Bitlayer's BTCFi Carnival, and I myself personally am going to try it right now. Before that, I know some friends might still be curious and wondering how it works, right? So I am going to share the screen with everyone. Hold on 1 second. Let me switch my screen here. Okay, so here you could see the Median article, right? Bitlayer BTCFi Carnival collaborating with Binance Wallet to claim 1.2 million in BTR. And don't forget to read through the instructions over here. It just started in less than 24 hours and already attracted a lot of users. And we all know that Binance Wallet, well, we need to KYC, right? So we know that all of them are real users. I believe Candice mentioned over 80,000 already joined. So don't miss it. This is very exciting, right? And they got some rules. So basically, the first way is like very easy checking, right? Enter earn BTR with each checking. I am definitely going to do that right now. So day by day, you're going to earn more and more BTR tokens. Catch-up checking mechanism. User can use the recheck button to make up for missed checking within the past 3 days. So if you missed it yesterday, no worries, you can make it up. That is a very nice way. And bonus. User who checking can enter daily bonus with 20,000 BTR distribution. So which means if you checking, you're going to earn more. You have more opportunity to get more. And Bitlayer is a very strong project team that have been in the ecosystem for several years building the BTCFi ecosystem. Definitely don't miss it. Here's the instruction. And this is the event link. What's the official Binance link? So it's really safe. You could, you don't need to worry anything because Binance also require all the participating project to check, their securities, right? Security issues on, So all the projects that cover Binance Wallet over here on the official Binance website, it's very safe. You could also participate through your Binance app as well. So don't miss it. And here is the way to go. Binance Wallet, discover, airdrop, Bitlayer. I can't wait to do it now. I know you're so very excited about it. This is the first week of the Bitlayer BTCFi Carnival. So the Bitlayer team, they are giving away 600,000 BTR drop over to participants. 3 different level of rewards. See? That's really awesome, everyone. Don't miss it. Okay, I'm going to play more music and while I'm completing my tasks right now. So exciting. See you everyone. I'm Moonlight. I'm done speaking. Don't miss this. I'm going to put the instruction over here for a longer time for you all to take a look. Let me see if I could enlarge it so it's more clear for everyone to see it, right? Our BTCFi Carnival with Bitlayer and 11 other top-tier BTCFi ecosystem projects win 1.2 million in BTR rewards. So exciting! Let's do it! Let's go! Thank you.